Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on a truly unique and deeply personal journey, a narrative that really challenges our perceptions of fidelity, self-discovery, and, the profound influence of new environments on our choices.
Hmm.
We've been given privileged access to this, well, unfiltered first-person account of a young woman's experience abroad. It's a story that takes some truly unexpected and frankly sometimes startling turns.
Absolutely.
Our mission today, it's to unpack every single detail of this candid narrative. We want to delve into the motivations that drove her, the pivotal moments of decision she faced, and the surprising transformations that unfold within her.
Yes.
We're going to follow her every step, really, from the quiet farewells and those deeply ingrained expectations, right through to the loud, uninhibited explorations of a completely new world.
Indeed. What we have before us is uh, just a raw, unvarnished look into a pivotal and you could say transformative period in one individual's life. And our aim here isn't, to judge or endorse the actions described. Not at all. But rather to objectively explore the inherent complexities of human behavior when individuals are confronted with entirely new environments,
Hmm.
unprecedented levels of personal freedom, and, unexpected temptations. Will meticulously trace the evolution of her perspective, connecting the dots from her initial intentions and deeply ingrained commitments,
Okay.
right through to a truly striking and, for some, perhaps, unsettling conclusion. It really serves as a compelling case study in just how quickly personal narratives and deeply held values can shift.
Under the right circumstances?
Yeah,
Or maybe the wrong ones?
exactly,
Okay.
depending on your perspective.
Okay, let's unpack this fascinating narrative right from the beginning then. Our narrator, she introduces herself simply as Hailey. She's a 23-year-old university student. But the initial context she provides for her life immediately sets a very particular, almost poignant tone for everything that follows. She tells us she'd been in a serious long-term relationship for a substantial 4 years
4 years, yeah.
with a young man named Brandon.
4 years is a significant commitment at that age, isn't it? Especially during those formative university years.
Oh, absolutely. It indicates a deep, established connection, a shared history, and, presumably a clear future they both saw.
Right. And what's truly fascinating here is the sheer depth and gravity of this relationship from the outset, just as Haley herself describes it.
Yes, she's very explicit.
She explicitly states they weren't just casually dating. They were, in fact, engaged to be married.
Engaged, that's a huge step. And she reveals something else significant, too, that she had given her virginity to Brandon.
Yes, she does.
And in many contexts, certainly within what's understood as a serious partnership heading towards marriage, that act often signifies a really profound level of commitment.
Emotional, physical.
Exactly. Unparalleled trust, a shared expectation of a future together. This establishes an incredibly strong baseline, a baseline of perceived loyalty.
A very definite, mutually understood long-term future, at least on the surface. Or at least, that was the public and perhaps internal understanding of their bond. It sets up this formidable foundation.
Hmm.
And all the subsequent actions throughout her journey will be measured against that foundation, highlighting the weight of the expectations she was carrying.
But here's where the narrative takes its first incredibly interesting and honestly telling turn right at the very outset.
Already, yeah.
Yeah. Haley, with this striking, almost disarming frankness, immediately reveals a significant detail that predates the main story, before the trip abroad even starts.
Right. What is it?
She confesses she had already cheated on Brandon during their second year together.
Wow. Okay, so this isn't a new thing triggered by the trip.
Not at all. She presents it almost as a recurring theme, a pattern of behavior she admits to right up front. So what does this initial, almost casual confession tell us
That's huge.
about her character, or maybe the underlying dynamics of this supposedly committed relationship, even before the pivotal trip begins?
It immediately complicates the entire picture, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it really does.
Her prior infidelity suggests very strongly that the external factors she encounters on the trip might not be the sole cause of what happens later.
Right. Maybe they're just a catalyst.
Exactly. A powerful catalyst that simply amplified existing tendencies or perhaps unresolved issues within herself or, within the fabric of her relationship with Brandon.
Hmm.
It immediately raises profound questions about the true nature of her commitment, her personal understanding of fidelity, maybe even Brandon's awareness or lack thereof.
Or maybe an unwitting complicity if this had happened before?
Possibly. It hints at a certain impulsivity, perhaps, or a struggle with maintaining that unwavering loyalty that clearly predates the trip.
Yeah.
So that baseline of perceived loyalty we just talked about, it suddenly becomes incredibly fragile, almost porous with this revelation.
The groundwork for deviation was already laid, as you said.
Precisely.
Okay, so the narrative then pivots quite sharply. A new chapter. Hailey's strong, almost insistent desire to travel abroad.
Right. This wasn't just a passing thought.
No, she genuinely pushed for it. And Brandon, despite his initial reluctance, she mentions, he hesitated, eventually agreed because she persisted.
Okay.
So they both went through the whole application process for a study abroad trip, hoping, presumably, to go together.
And the outcome of those applications, that's the key catalyst, isn't it? The domino that sets everything off.
Absolutely. Hailey gets accepted to a program in Ohio,
Okay.
while Brandon gets accepted to a program in Nevada, completely separate.
So that geographical separation, preventing them from being together on this big adventure, that's the critical turning point.
It feels foundational.
No doubt. If they'd gone to the same place, navigated it together, this story would likely be entirely different. It's this forced individual path that sets everything in motion for Hailey.
So what does this mean for them right then? Hailey was, understandably, upset, not being able to go with Brandon after 4 years together.
Of course. That separation would be tough.
But Brandon's response to her distress is, well, it's remarkable. Almost unbelievably trusting, maybe even a bit naive, especially knowing now about her past infidelity.
What did he say?
He encouraged her, said, with real magnanimity apparently, you go if you want it so much.
Wow.
And when she voiced concern about being apart, he doubled down, saying emphatically, it's okay, you go, have fun, I trust you and our love.
He actually said that. I trust you in our love.
Yep. Hailey recalls feeling deeply grateful for his understanding and this explicit permission, this profound trust, this green light to enjoy herself without him. It sets such a powerful scene for what unfolds.
Oh, absolutely. Poignant is the right word. It's a testament to his unwavering faith in her and their bond.
A faith that, as we're about to find out, is going to be tested severely.
Brandon's words are pivotal on so many psychological levels. His expressed trust, prioritizing her desire over their immediate togetherness.
Yeah.
It creates this unique space for Hailey.
How so?
Well, on one hand, it's profound love, secure attachment. Right, he's being selfless.
Yep.
On the other hand, though, it might have inadvertently removed a crucial barrier, a sense of direct accountability that might have kept her committed. It's almost like subtle emotional permission.
Hadn't thought of it that way.
That statement, I trust you and our love, intended to reassure. Well, in the intoxicating context of a new environment, it can become a quiet voice that's easy to ignore when temptation arises.
So it puts a heavy burden of responsibility on her.
A huge burden, which she then has to decide, moment by moment, how to carry. Or, as it turns out, how to discard.
Okay, so with Brandon's blessing, Hailey gets everything sorted. School stuff, visa processes, prepare him for the fall semester in Houston, Ohio.
Technicalities.
She says her goodbyes to Brandon at the airport, flies to Houston, gets met by a school mentor. The classic, seemingly normal start to studying abroad.
Full of promise, new beginnings.
Exactly. But her new living situation immediately introduces a dynamic that's likely quite different from home for her.
The dorm.
Yeah, she's placed in a co-ed dorm. She knew it was co-ed, but she notes her surprise that boys and girls are on the same corridor.
Right next to her.
In adjacent rooms, yeah. Her roommate's a girl, but this constant close proximity to guys in a casual student setting, that's noteworthy.
It subtly shifts the social landscape around her, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Creates an immediate atmosphere of casual interaction,
Yeah.
maybe potential intimacy that might have been unfamiliar.
For sure. The first week, she says, sounds fairly standard, what you'd expect.
Settling in.
Document submissions, exploring the city a bit, and crucially, starting to make new friends. It's that period of acclimatization, settling in, almost the calm before the storm, really. It sets the stage for the very first weekend.
The first weekend.
Which is precisely where her narrative takes a rapid and unexpected turn into, well, uncharted territory. That initial ease is about to disappear. And just like that, the first weekend arrives. Specifically, Saturday night. Hailey describes the dorm buzzing, everyone getting ready to go out to disco-style nightclubs.
The typical student weekend vibe.
And this is the moment her new friend, Lauren, who becomes a key, very influential figure, steps in with an invitation.
Lauren. Okay. So Lauren invites her out.
Yeah, directly. And Lauren's invitation is clearly the instigator here. Hailey initially resists, which is important.
Oh, she didn't want to go at first?
No, she says she resisted, shows some inhibition was still there, but Lauren's persuasion is effective. She emphasizes the fun, promises the clubs are different from Turkey, better maybe, a great atmosphere.
Highlighting that allure of the novel experience.
Mhm.
Peer pressure, essentially, from a new friend who seems like the expert guide.
Exactly, being drawn into local customs. But here's where it gets really fascinating, showing a big shift in Hailey's behavior already.
Okay.
Despite maintaining daily phone calls with Brandon, presumably to keep that connection, that loyalty,
Right, the daily check-ins.
she makes a very conscious choice. She calls him, and then she lies. Tells him, I'm going to bed.
Wow. A direct lie.
Not just an omission, a significant premeditated act of deception. It marks a clear departure from the trust Brandon had explicitly placed in her.
That is the first major, undeniable crack in that foundation of trust. It signals she knows her actions might be seen as a betrayal, and she's choosing to hide them.
It's active concealment.
Totally. It's a step into territory where her behavior doesn't align with the relationship's expectations. Those daily calls become almost a cover.
Yeah, a way to maintain the facade.
And it allows her to compartmentalize,
Yeah.
to create that psychological barrier between her actions abroad and her commitment back home. It's a way to manage the dissonance, really.
So she goes to the club with Lauren. Upon entering, Hailey immediately feels it's truly a different place. She sees a large dance floor, disco music, but mostly couples dancing.
Setting a specific, maybe slightly structured social scene for her.
And the dancing dynamic itself surprises her. She describes girls dancing alone until a guy extends his hand, invites them, then they dance together. She notes very few people are unpaired, mostly guys who haven't found partners yet. It's like a distinct social ritual.
A very specific pattern of engagement, different from what she's used to, less freestyle, more ritualistic pairing.
And then the actual nature of this dancing shocks her. She watches Lauren get grabbed by an Ohioan guy.
Grabbed!
Yeah, and what she describes sounds, well, far from traditional dancing to her. The guy's hand on Lauren's butt, Lauren doing what Hailey calls a lap dance, grinding against him.
Okay, so very public, very physical intimacy.
Totally. Hailey's internal reaction is emphatic. She thinks, and they call this dancing. It's a huge cultural or personal boundary being crossed for her.
That internal thought, and they call this dancing, that highlights a profound cultural clash. It's visceral for her.
It's not just dance styles.
No, it's a fundamental difference in social codes about physical contact, public sexual expression. It's cultural dissonance in action.
Right.
When your ingrained norms are abruptly challenged, it creates this powerful internal conflict. You either resist rigidly or, like Hailey, you rapidly reevaluate and adapt.
It's a direct confrontation with her understanding of decency. So Hailey's watching all this, she says, with her mouth open, just total astonishment, maybe a bit of horrified fascination.
I can picture it.
Then she sees Lauren kissing the guy openly. This leads Hailey to exclaim, almost involuntarily, oh, come on.
Like she can't believe what she's seeing.
Right. She quickly finishes her drink, almost defensively, and retreats to the smoking room, which is also a social area. She's physically pulling back from the intensity.
A moment of overwhelm, but Lauren joins her there soon after.
Yeah, Lauren joins her, casually lights a cigarette, completely unfazed. And then she provocatively asks Hailey if she liked the atmosphere.
Wow, after what Hailey just witnessed.
Hailey expresses her surprise. Everything being so open and fast, she voices concern about Lauren kissing a stranger, asks where the guy went.
And Lauren's response.
Incredibly casual, dismissive almost. I don't know, he probably went to bother someone else.
Whoa. That detached attitude towards intimacy?
Yeah.
That must have shocked Hailey even more.
It clearly does. It's such a stark contrast to what Hailey would see as a significant physical act. This casualness is probably breaking down her resistance bit by bit. But then Lauren delivers a series of lines that seem incredibly influential, a real turning point in Hailey's internal battle, almost like dismantling her defenses.
What does she say? This sounds crucial.
She tells Hailey reassuringly, you'll get used to it, don't worry.
Normalizing it. Dismissing the discomfort.
Who will know? What happens here stays here.
Ah, the classic line. Offering that illusion of consequence-free indulgence. Severing the ties back home.
Besides, Lauren adds, Ohioan men are very good in bed. I recommend them.
Wow. A direct sexual recommendation on top of everything else, targeting arousal and curiosity directly.
And Hailey admits, very honestly, these words aroused her. Yet she still had that flicker of resistance, that thought. She didn't want to betray Brandon.
That internal conflict is palpable. She's not fully gone yet, But Lauren's words, like seeds of temptation, are deeply sown now.
Fertilized, ready to sprout.
Lauren's words are a masterclass in psychological normalization and peer influence, hitting all of Hailey's vulnerabilities, the promise of anonymity, the sexual suggestion. It's all designed, consciously or not, to erode her resistance.
And the fact Hailey admits feeling aroused shows it's working, even as that thought of Brandon lingers.
It's that classic battle. Immediate desire versus long-term loyalty, playing out right there in her head.
So as this internal battle is raging, a friend of Lauren's comes over, offers them a Maverick.
A Maverick, what's that?
Hailey describes it explicitly. A vodka tequila cocktail, 4 shots strong, and it tasted very good.
4 shots strong. Okay, that's potent.
And Hailey candidly admits she lost count of how many she drank, but she says she felt very good, suggesting, significant and rapid intoxication.
This is that critical point, isn't it, where the alcohol and Lauren's persuasive words just combine.
Yeah, a synergistic effect.
Eroding that already weakening self-control. Hailey even says Lauren's words fueled her the mental push, while the alcohol provides the disinhibition.
Leading her straight to the dance floor.
It's that transition from reluctant observer to active participant, driven by intoxication and suggestion. The Maverick isn't just a drink, it's the accelerant.
Then on the dance floor, she described this sudden embrace, a hand on her waist, pulling her close from behind.
Unexpected contact.
She feels immediately stuck to him, like one body, before even seeing his face. And remarkably, she makes no sound. She says she was abandoning myself to his arms.
Just total surrender to the moment initially.
But when he starts kissing her neck, she says she slightly came to her senses and pulls away. A momentary flicker of self-preservation, maybe?
That internal push and pull again, passive acceptance, then a brief flash of clarity and withdrawal. Does she see him then?
Yeah, that momentary clarity lets her see him. Tall, very handsome, blonde blue eyes. Definitely Ohioan, she concludes. But before she can process it, he immediately pulls her back by the arm, reestablishes contact, keeps dancing.
Persistent.
Then he puts his hands on her butt, brings his face close to hers, reasserting control, pushing the intimacy despite her brief withdrawal. He's not letting go easily. This is the moment, Hailey recounts, when she truly lost control. Her internal struggle is described so vividly, it's like a debate in her head.
Heart versus brain.
Exactly. Her heart desperately saying, go away, but her brain, fueled by the alcohol and Lauren's words, rationalizing, how will Brandon know? Enjoy it.
The classic internal battle, raw and unfiltered. Conscience versus desire.
The decision is made, she says, when he kisses her. She kisses him back, following her brain's decision.
So she overrides the heart's plea.
Seems so. The physical escalation continues rapidly. His hands move to her breasts. Hailey states she lost control again. But this time, it manifests differently. Not passivity. She takes an active step. She reaches out and touches his penis.
Whoa, okay, that's a clear active move from her, escalating it herself.
A powerful signal of her willingness. He immediately gets it, grabs her hand, and leads her swiftly out of the club. He leads her right outside. The club, she notes, is in this large park, lots of trees, feels like a forest. Secluded.
Providing cover and anonymity.
He keeps holding her hand, leading her deeper into the shadows, a more private spot.
And the environment itself plays a role here, doesn't it? The darkness, the seclusion.
Definitely. She even sees other couples making out against trees nearby. It creates this atmosphere of overt sexuality.
Sets the stage.
And Hailey explicitly states she understood he brought me here to do the same. The purpose is clear in her mind.
No ambiguity about the intention. And she adds she was very aroused.
Yep. Indicating her physical and emotional readiness. Any ambiguity about her consent seems gone in this permissive setting. He wastes absolutely no time, leans her against a tree, kisses her intensely, starts taking off her clothes.
Rapid escalation.
She's quickly down to just her bra. And, showing active participation, she helps him take his shirt off too.
Mutual undressing. Clear reciprocal desire.
The progression is fast and, from her account, consensual. He unhooks her bra. She actively helps by raising her arms.
Okay.
Then he starts kissing and licking her breasts. A sensation she describes powerfully. It made her literally go crazy.
An intense, overwhelming physical response, overriding any lingering inhibitions. Her body's taking over.
And in response to that pleasure, she immediately reaches for his belt, starts unbuckling it herself.
Taking the initiative again.
Her internal monologue right then is striking. It gives so much insight, she thinks. I couldn't believe myself first week, kissing a stranger whose name I didn't even know, and unbuckling his belt to give him a blowjob.
Wow, that moment of self-awareness, astonishment at her own actions, recognizing how far she's strayed.
But does it stop her?
Apparently not, based on what you're saying. That's pivotal, isn't it? The split between her conscious reflection, I couldn't believe myself, and her immediate impulsive actions.
Yeah, she's like an observer and participant at the same time.
Acknowledging the incongruity, but driven by an overpowering arousal that just supersedes self-judgment, supersedes Brandon. It shows how context, sensation, environment can override long-held beliefs.
The astonishment is there, but it's not a deterrent. So she kneels down, describes his penis, uncircumcised and thick, and immediately starts giving him oral sex.
Okay. And he responds by cupping her breasts, intensifying things further.
Right. And despite the cool night air, she describes feeling like fire from the pleasure and adrenaline. The physical response just overrides everything else.
Suggesting a powerful physiological state, he then lifts her up.
Yeah, lifts her, unbuttons her jeans, pulls them and her underwear down to her knees, preparing for intercourse, and he gets a condom from his wallet.
Practical detail amidst the intensity. Preparedness on his part.
And then she takes the condom from his hand, tears it open with her teeth, puts it on him.
Whoa. Taking charge of that step, too. Very active participation, undeniable agency.
Absolutely. He then turns her to face the tree. She leans over, hands on the tree, positioning herself. He starts rubbing his penis against her from behind. She moans. After a few rubs, he enters her, starts pumping.
And her reaction.
Her pleasure moans intensify, escalating to screams, at which point he covers her mouth with his hand.
Covering her mouth. Why?
Presumably because of the intensity, the noise she's making, and their location. It underscores her intense pleasure, but also the risk of exposure in that park setting.
Right. A reminder of where they are. Raw, uninhibited, pushing boundaries.
He has sex with her for about 5 minutes, then he ejaculates. But, and this is crucial for the aftermath, Hailey states very clearly, she had not orgasmed.
Oh, okay. So intense, but ultimately unfulfilling for her physically.
Exactly. That lack of personal climax adds this layer of incompleteness to it all.
And his reaction afterwards.
Immediately after, the transactional nature becomes brutally apparent. He removes the condom, throws it aside casually, pulls up his pants, picks up his shirt, and leaves without saying anything.
Chapsticks. No words.
Nothing. It's a stark clinical end, leaving her unfulfilled and, you'd assume, maybe feeling abandoned or just left to process it all alone.
Very functional. No emotional exchange. That kind of interaction can be jarring, especially if you're used to more connection. Might explain what she does next.
Yeah, she summarizes it with astonishment. He literally picked me up on the dance floor, kissed me, then brought me here, fluffed me, and left in 15-20 minutes.
Trying to process the speed and detachment.
Then, incredibly quickly, she gets dressed, returns to the club, takes another Maverick cocktail.
Another one, straight away.
Yep, and heads right back to the smoking section. That quick return, the immediate drink, it suggests detachment maybe? Or a desire to just keep going, numb any feelings, dive back in. So back in the club, almost immediately after returning alone from the park, Lauren finds her.
Bro.
But Lauren's not alone this time. She's with 2 Turkish young men, Austin and Tyler. Hailey describes them both as very handsome and students.
New characters introduced instantly.
Yeah.
Suggests a very fluid, fast-paced social scene.
Totally. New connections made so quickly. The lines between acquaintance and potential partner are incredibly blurred. It signals the night is far from over.
And maybe her experiences abroad are just beginning. A non-stop landscape of opportunity.
Lauren quickly suggests, let's go, or go. Hailey asks where.
Understandable question.
Lauren replies simply, friends invited us to their house. And Hailey, with this stark clarity now, immediately gets the implication.
She knows what that means.
Yeah, she thinks they would take us home and F us. The intention is crystal clear, no need for explanation.
So, despite her recent unfulfilling experience, and she mentions a brief thought of Brandon.
Right, a fleeting thought.
Her initial desire is maybe to go back to the dorm, but that gets blocked.
Exactly. Lauren tells her she can't go back. Apparently, the dorm staff won't allow re-entry after midnight without prior notification. A bizarre rule.
Really, that's a strange rule. And it effectively traps them.
It seems so. Leaves them with no other apparent option but to go with the guys. It's this crucial external constraint, a logistical trap almost, pushing her further into the night's events.
removing an easy escape route. Interesting how external factors keep playing a role.
So, with no other option, the kill your dorm rule. They get into a taxi with Austin and Tyler.
Okay.
And the journey isn't just a ride. Tyler immediately kisses Hailey. Austin kisses Lauren. The kissing continues all the way to the boys' house.
Wow. Immediate escalation again. No hesitation from Hailey this time.
None described. It indicates this immediate, unreserved acceptance of that rapid physical intimacy code she's now immersed in.
The continuous kissing signals a seamless transition to the next stage, a group dynamic of shared exploration.
Any lingering reservations seem completely gone, overridden by circumstances and the permissive atmosphere.
The dorm rule plus the social pull just dissolve those earlier inhibitions.
The house itself, described quite mundanely, small, 1+1, ordinary student house, grounds it in reality.
Right, not glamorous. Makes what happens next maybe more striking.
Tyler takes Hailey straight to his room. They immediately start kissing and undressing on the bed. No time wasted.
Okay, second encounter of the night underway. Is his approach different?
Yeah, notably, he uses overtly affectionate language. You're so beautiful, my love, my baby.
Different vibe from the park guy. More intimate language, anyway.
Suggests a different dynamic. He puts on a condom, enters her in missionary position. More traditional start, perhaps. But here's where it gets really interesting again. Hailey's active participation and agency ramps up significantly.
Oh, so.
She starts telling him explicitly, F me, my love, don't stop.
Direct commands, expressing desire.
Totally. A stark contrast to her earlier hesitation or shock or even the passivity in the park. She's actively commanding now, expressing her own pleasure.
That verbalization signifies a complete embrace of this newfound sexual freedom. A shift from passive allowance to active demand. And what about Lauren?
The sounds from the next room, Lauren's moans, create this shared, concurrent experience. Reinforces the permissive atmosphere, normalizes it all.
Right. Tyler continues, legs on shoulders. And the outcome for Hailey this time.
Crucially, Hailey explicitly states she orgasmed from pleasure this time.
Ah, that's a huge difference from the first encounter.
Pivotal.
Immensely significant. That successful, pleasurable climax likely plays a massive role in her subsequent reevaluation of loyalty.
Pleasure is a powerful motivator. So after about 20 minutes, Tyler finishes. They lie on the bed. Satisfied this time.
Yeah, exhausted but satisfied. But the night isn't over. A few minutes later, something surprising but maybe casual happens.
What now?
Tyler and Austin switch rooms. Austin comes to Hailey. Tyler goes to Lauren.
They just swap partners like that.
Apparently so. Almost communal, uninhibited. Shows a striking lack of possessiveness, treating it like fluid exchanges.
Speaks volumes about the social norms within this group, this subculture.
All right.
So Austin comes to Hailey.
And immediately offers his flaccid penis to her. And she, without hesitation, licks it erect. Okay. That detail indicates an incredible level of comfort now. Uninhibited willingness to engage intimately with a new partner right after the last one.
Complete dismissal of conventional boundaries. It's direct, unself-conscious, almost performative. Demonstrates her full commitment to this new persona. Then, showing her active role again, she positions herself, bending over, takes him inside directly from behind.
Initiating again. And this encounter.
Austin has sex with her for about half an hour, changing positions. Suggests a prolonged, varied, mutually engaged encounter.
More intense. Maybe more connected than the first one? Or just longer?
Hard to say about connection, but definitely longer and varied. And the climax.
Shared. Both Hailey and Austin orgasmed almost simultaneously.
Mutual fulfillment again. That dual orgasm, especially after the first unfulfilled experience, marks a crucial turning point in her sexual gratification.
Solidifies the positive reinforcement. Exhaustion then leads her to fall asleep in Austin's arms.
A profound physical and emotional release, ending this incredibly intense first weekend, but opening up a whole new reality. Hailey wakes up the next morning, not alone, but intimately in Austin's arms, hugging him.
A calm, surprisingly intimate awakening after such a wild night.
And her reflection upon waking is absolutely crucial. It marks that significant internal shift, the tangible consequences, she thinks. Loyalty to Brandon gradually decreased.
Wow. A direct admission of that erosion of commitment. The cumulative effect of the experience.
Some pleasure, right. Especially the orgasms with Tyler and Austin, which were missing the first time, that likely played a huge role.
Absolutely. Immediate, tangible gratification starting to dramatically outweigh the abstract concept of distant loyalty. A fundamental reprioritization driven by pleasure.
The rest of that day, Hailey describes it explicitly. Austin and Tyler having a full-blown sex party with her and Lauren.
A sex party, implying continuous consensual activity among the four.
Seems so. Normalizing and extending the previous night's encounters into this prolonged group dynamic, it's not just one night, it's become a new reality.
Highlighting her complete immersion into a lifestyle, worlds away from her relationship with Brandon. But how does she manage the deception? She's still calling Brandon daily.
That's what's fascinating, maybe disturbing. She describes going outside the house to video call Brandon,
Maintaining the facade.
playing the part of the normal student abroad, then immediately returning to the house and, her words, throwing myself into Tyler's arms.
Wow. Conscious, skilled compartmentalization. Active dishonesty. Living a double life.
Navigating between two opposing realities, seemingly without conflict in the moment. The ease of that transition is chillingly efficient. Shows profound psychological adaptability, maybe? Then she gives this sweeping summary of the whole trip, a broad statement covering the scale of it all. She says, "I can't tell you how many men I was with during the trip."
Not just a few, then. Implies a vast number.
And she confirms she and Lauren went to different clubs every weekend. A sustained, consistent pattern, not isolated incidents.
And she mentions men from different countries, too, beyond Austin and Tyler.
Yep. Broadens the scope massively. Widespread, varied sexual exploration throughout her time there. It's moved beyond specific infidelities to a general state of being, a new norm for her.
Indicating not just choices, but a transformation of identity and behavior. The environment fundamentally reshaped her. Maybe a process of desensitization, each encounter normalizing the boundary breaking further.
Leading to a complete reframing of her intimate life, and then her final, truly provocative statement. A bold assertion generalizing her experience to everyone.
What does she claim?
Hailey asserts that whether male or female, anyone who goes on a trip like this and doesn't cheat on their boyfriend or fiancé is lying.
Whoa, that's a strong, definitive, almost cynical claim, presented as universal truth based on her singular experience.
It's not just justification, it's confrontational.
And her ultimate conclusion about her own actions, that's perhaps the most striking part.
It really is, she says. I cheated, and I'm not sorry. On the contrary, it was the best time of my life.
Complete lack of remorse. No guilt, no regret, not even ambivalence.
Yeah.
Flaming infidelity and exploration in overwhelmingly positive terms.
She reinterprets it, not as betrayal, but as personal enjoyment, liberation, fulfillment, despite betraying Brandon's trust.
It completely challenges conventional notions of fidelity, the cost of these actions, the expectation that infidelity should bring regret.
Right.
It suggests this powerful personal transformation where self-satisfaction, immediate gratification just triumphs decisively over previous morals and commitments. A totally positive reevaluation of her choices in her own mind.
What a journey we've just unpacked, truly. From, arriving as this seemingly committed, student, engaged, trusting partner to this rapid, uninhibited immersion into a completely new culture of relationships, intimacy, and profound self-discovery. Hailey's story takes us from that initial confession of prior infidelity, the crack already there, through moments of shock, internal conflict, to this startling, unreserved embrace of new freedoms, and, maybe most strikingly, that complete lack of regret. It's powerful, raw, deeply human.
And what's truly fascinating, maybe heartbreaking, is that stark contrast. Brandon's unwavering trust versus Hailey's unremorseful experience, the best time of her life.
Yeah.
This narrative raises a huge, maybe uncomfortable question for all of us, doesn't it? To what extent do new environments, perceived anonymity, immediate gratification, how much do they reshape our personal boundaries, our long-held commitments?
It makes you wonder.
And her provocative declaration that anyone who doesn't cheat is lying. It's not just personal justification. It forces us to confront assumptions about human nature, the fragility of loyalty under permissive circumstances.
It asks us to consider if our own loyalties might be more flexible than we think under different conditions.
An unsettling thought, perhaps.
So what does this all mean for you, listening? Hailey's deep dive offers this raw, unvarnished look at how quickly a path can diverge from intentions, from an established identity. It prompts us to consider that powerful interplay. Personal desire, external influences, social norms, and the changing landscape of loyalty.
That complex mix.
When faced with absolute freedom and a radically different social code, what parts of ourselves do we truly discover? And, maybe more critically, which parts do we choose to leave behind? perhaps without a second thought, in pursuit of a new experience.
Yeah.
It challenges us to ask, what does it really mean to be ourselves when all those external constraints are lifted? And how easily can we become someone we never, ever expected?